May San Francisco ki bura-bura. Sema maing gay waseyani.
Turang kena marama taru kena leo ni sambulo binakan tapi kinda bagi talen dan dua talen kabi ni venga rabi na radio bulan do bata sibita ko bekenda na tolu na tinika ba na miniti na buno tabo ni barong tumikina na kabi ni venga rabi ni dai maruta ka bale ni raw ni daru mai sota talen bulo binaka kena marau na kabi binaka ni dai bikum ni sa siamo chumai nonto Facebook page live tukina na ngonongo na nonto program go tega bungo ngali tabo tu na bitu na kaloko na kabi na program nga na mai lewe toka ni nonto to betal no na sigi binaka ni kuwa o ya na program ni lotu na nongu tisu nongu benua arto biuto bata chiko songo lotu binaka New Methodist Christian Fellowship ya ndana gerongo na bima manyono me ko tikende ani en vitu na kaloko o kita ba kemni na turanga na marama da rubo kino lewa en buno lebo merke ni bulo binaka kemni ni siamo chinga mai na Bay Area ngo bakata laki na mai na Korturanga lebo ki California mai Sacramento ndombula mai Santa Rosa na Sonoma County todo ko sara bakata laki na Alameda County kemdo mai na county mai na East Bay mai Haywood kena pipu no bole kanta sa bikin tabagi chuka ni bikimni na wasi ni ngona ni vinga rabi ngona kabi ni kuwa wakata laki na bikimni na ndo bata chuka mai ana pipu no ndu Italia so California kemto da sema chuka mai LA wakata laki na pipu no bole kata so wakata laki na bikimdo na sema chuka mai na Washington State mai Seattle kena be atu yanu lala yeso radir bole kata toka na state level ya bikimni na ling ni vinga rabi redir chuka ngasi na kabi na kuwa sabi kinta bagi chuka ni bikimni na wasi ni ngona ni radio mulun do bata na kabi ni singa bukilulu endai bikimdo talanga na sema chuka mai na East Coast ke merke kula ni liutok na so na tolna ua so na rua sa bago bibida kata chuka na bito kani mai bikimni na kabi na ni ko singa ngulita talanga kina bikimni na ngara bita bichiko na bibu bale todo sar ni taka boli na tombu ni wai indu eso ndombula mai Pennsylvania mai Texas wakata laki na state tale so wakata durchukin na tunde manibusi sahaba ka bini nakata chukan na bito ka na kabini bin kara bini time awam bulo chukan bi rote ulila kempa bagi ko sar chuna taka turango na kabini ko malo bole bo bangrakai baka nuni binakto na buku ni kara tabi talaki na be nogo turanga yanu en kabi di bin krabi den nungu ya sa apa kabi di bin nakata chuka na mdo siamo tumai en bibu no duinde so na bibu wale bo turanga baka talaki na be kemuni na dorobo ni bicho ni ngito bole na be kala bol lebu e merke ni sambulo beda ke mata binak sang mai en kabi na ni kuwa so e suku na taka so sange bor le tega bu job chiko so baka me lule baka tu sa kabi na bunua so sange fresh tak ngamai ni saya kabi na benua bater kila por le taka se por le redir tumbe kan itokani bekito en Bay Area en ngono sarngango sa botong abita na u me ato en bitu na kaloko baka me duo dai tu na Golden State Warriors na nito ma tim ni basketball arto na sanga na ma tim ni LeBron James na LA Lakers merto na ganga talambong ni kuwa en nito rara na Chase Center San Francisco meron ni orto ngole dake ni kin wele na sot katarapan na NBA ya sa pagreta ka na doon pagtabuli di Steve Kerr merto bakuko na durbo ni Golden State Warriors na Bay Area ngo karena ni mamiti mito ko chugo ya hindi na gani suar do tali takatalanga na LA Lakers ko sar chugo ni palubosa na ngonong go at wason ring ital chunga mai na City na Chase Center na ngito ya nagitega buchu na bitu na koloko kala liu samba di barbecue tungo loes tu ngona soar soso ngona soar liu sar na woi buso meranga baka sarabo to kana iwale todo ko sar baka dur polo ara kelita ni kino ira na kena dau en ngito basketball merke bombi bibiro na mata tim ni California rua na LA Lakers ke na mata tim ni Golden State Warriors ngo baka me ngito tunga libite dini yang doko kuasar na rivalry kya. Abang nuni bina ka stop to na CWM hospital and mata kan lutu lebo entai, bulu bina ka magi makireta zambe alaw. Ni bulu bina ka kimani andin dia nangona bina ka na siya machukumay. Patalaki na be solo turang may muri may na Zion Shopping Center may Tabo Town. Wele gay may mesingado yani. Bina ka Galay indong anak ke murochi be so tabita. Galay bago ni bilang talanga ni be emosi na sibi saula randindi bilang kana siama sar chukma New Zealand jo ambota Israel tawake longa ni mbau mai tele bunim bulo benaka ni ta bilang kana siama chukmai baga talaki ni be kelera ya ni navatu kere here naka benaka bulo baga ni benaka be tinai roko wai waukia roko nai waukia ndombula binaka en kabin ni bengara pe dintai eu pede la nobo no monindo ni bengara ke sa start on the cruise go que anda voli nanga una au volia oli maro roetu angole sulia tele li be ke moni Totokona to mondo na matilolo no mundi nithangi ke ngusu itupa ya na thare nene imbura wako wele ndasang saranga dikela se thapa mbeka thapi kwa na maramo ya ia beke munito to sarna nene ni nanronga murumbulo benaka na siama chukuma na ka benaka dikua ba ka nuni benaka talaga di mai rugurugule budu mai nanronga sia mai Hawaii ve tiki kombiu ke na no na matawale wako bulo benaka ke buni nakasakabali na siya machugumay na via kabi na radio Bulan Dua Bata. Pagka binaka na buku de bito kani radio Bulan Dua Bata. Sabi mamando no weekend na tol na kaloko. Dagi bisa matela ni oche bida na itugutugu ni bibi poliong ko.
Nonda biti ke ngasini buli paulange reki rongodi ena 5 na kaloko ena kabini lotu le ke mundo e Amerika tini karona kaloko ena singa le buli baka romboka ve ke mundo mai viti ena radio Bulan Dua Bata San Francisco me kauti kenda bata.
Endona mate kuniti wale wabekenda mana wasa Pasifika na hepatitis B. Kuneini ndua mana bayatini corona leni bunua mana wasa Pasifika Amerike ni tobi reti kuna matengo na hepatitis B. Ongoli wabekenda na kenara ni betobi sena tobi kuna matini na venada se liver cancer. Endende mendo kila kesate bikwentiko. Mebakani sena sotini kene bakatakele kila se symptoms. Bakabo kesambi mbi na mate. Mbimbi ngoni kila mono bakani kebi membaleta na hepatitis B. Peter Termai kena telefoni 52 ono vituva 51 sisi koba na nondo to website www.sfhepbfree.org.
Radio Bulan Dua Bata me kauti kenda bata mai San Francisco ki burubura sema mai ngai wose yani.
Totokobotin na serwa yang mabertun na bunga ni wo kita kau ni talno ake matangali lei lusi da kabe de benga rabin tintai sapoto ko beken de rus meniti me van keloko don na itu muta kata-kata beken dan tunggu na Bay Area au wili kachingo nduan bate ngole baka i Auckland mai na city ngole juga ni bakango na airport ngole ani mele takoso nandu kilabina ka bekenda San Francisco ninda bela ninda bondo train mendangole Auckland lako imboto ni waie ona express tubes ya endo ada turanga sa tur chingo pa be subirtu no bisa na kaida ka be bang ta ko na kokomea ando musukin mbulu makawe ko pa me pa dola pa mai ndona mai ndona carriage kin ndo tale kame me ski so butu chale lako zake mai ga enduri mai me enduri tu matan ga suaki koyan se sanga chunga nikila ina ngonongo sabata butu na itupa kini na turanga se marama ya baka mabuote kia sa tuni kan sa anda mimbisar tu mai volembula ando baka samata ka sonongo ndo bondo na via kai se vi mataka ndo ngole mai takataka ke baka ndo bondo mai na train dona kasa ando lori le tungo na nonra ando uir nando orang tu ko rasa via lenga tu na nonra vaka sama au ndo baka retu tu na matanra uir na maram na nonra tu riri kota ka tu na nonra ndo ndambe tu na lomen train erdo kamera ke ndo li tingu na lon ni rere sona dorbo se sona turang momo gangar tambe batu tu bele tu ergo erdo la kamantanga ni lomen train sopir le baka rite bugi tu so ko rasang tu non rafale homeless tu rale baka vitalia baka mdukar tu na sona lomen kerja ya me baka ngani le bur baka tak sartu na weni matin bi baka matin taki ko ya baka tak na mid cliva baka mabota kin ndua na marama si turang simbere baka di tagi chuna ngono gongo na bitangan na minute sauti na ndo berto na tube ka ngole baka angalebe si West Auckland non sa kerker ngani irana pasindia ve kon tin contact me sa baka tutolngan me rani laibe solaya ya sa ba juga na baka dombulan ni bika ya tu enon to pura-pura suara nduri wele itunga sa buka ni bir dona chigini ko comer le baka mati le baka mabuat sarkina sember chigini kila ya ta sar na itu baki tunga ngani mimbi sar na bika ya to bua sa di baki nan don polimbulo boleka mai Auckland ya na bika so tabi tu na buno lebo merke bikini na ba ronto menon to bono lomane bichina lebu ne banga takini weni mati ni baka mati taki son kena matanggal kali lebu ka kukoa itigo na ice indua na lihatan tu bangun ni sala no flaka ko na go etugo ni na retal na YouTube ke baka ndo baka sarapa sa baka sa singrer baka tu na rere so se rere baka na mati so di du mai na motoka o ko hai tu be na flaka di botalen na motoka rau sotanga ma o sa bango isa na liu chimba na kukuan ni weni mati asa nang me vakila tu ino kwa na mumusin jimbina go kemani kona sota ya madao nilitau bango me da ba duri boni tamba ko tu da kita le binaka angai baka sa ko nga utu ne sa ngai sona turanga bokon to mumbula sa taratu na ken matanggali ai kan to se deal ta sume vici klani sa infiltrate ta juga ni no to yasa o na kabulo bula ser do tu na ice na meth songo na le baka tortu sona baka rukuku na bukungon non sa haitu na sona weni mata sianga ni nondonu merataratu na non rambul do gabi karua bitalo skino karua na bitane singa saut pa me ngoka karua kanga ni pira merani nguni angona ya ni merani ramelumutuki non ravakasam abango karua gurumbe nangai sangai merna advocate tegi mandavira na kanda rasa da wiri tungo na bi sitilili ko merke me rani boko molumu tegira bida sarangai na bilo sosoko vera mersanga me ngambal autu ya na bi kaya tu na boko ndombula ke boko reba ke bi kaya tu na asa and kimamituki ngo so bondo ngai na train na bat Bay Area rapid transit ngo Turtungan din tuan na tol ni kokomendo pangatak me muskin nambul makau na bikavaya. Maka mabota kan tuan na pasindia. Na bitang na minit sangochi. Bawa di binakatag sudah bitokani. Radio bulan dua bata. Boto ko beken tini kapana miniti. Basa katalanga na kaloko.
Isan daw bula binaka.
Bula.
Doon kayo ito kimay. Endo binaka ito banggara.
Iyo, nimbula binaka. Kito singito kibo sarangamay. Satu to Candino, Pennsylvania. May baka tumuli ang madoni turta na tatakan na tumbuni wayway. Iya, kito sa bista ka saranga nakaka na bagabiti. Kito rongoda, nito kendo na stonda ulit kikenda to kakana.
Iyo, na Fiji Cover Store. Ito ka sarangay ligori. Nakakede tu kina. Na Fiji Cover Store. Kau te viti mai voka boleka ka voka se butaka na bona nanu. Boli te kitu kina na tinika, tini bulu makau, Taka's ice cream, na mateni, na ika na mbele. Yado kina chase ningu na ngona, na twisties na bongo kay na bean, kay na bungatali. Sangay lebu sarangan na ngona kare ngona binakadina. Ngay indolo bo talanga ango na nondato boutique. Boli te kina na isulu kanta kilaita ni kina daga dilinga, karami soli boy loloma. Wei kemuni mai Pennsylvania, kena vebu no boleh kata. Era talanga ni wakau tanga mai na nomoni ota na telefoni se email, kara tau nangai wakau tanga na nomon do boli. Yana Fiji Cover Store LLC, 100 South Mount Vernon Avenue, Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Nabo ni telefoni vitu seba vitu, wadi rua vitu diwa vitu ono, se bandu lima tolu seba vitu, diwa rua vitu tolu, se email kena Fiji Cover Store PA@gmail.com. Nungu chisu nungu badua. Dorongote na vima mani ono kina vitu ene kabuni bugululu we kemu dawe California. We mani rua ene kabi kina tolu ene singalewu ni lotilewu we kemu dawe viti. E warotaka na New Methodist Christian Fellowship USA. Rongote ene radio bulan do vata San Francisco me kauti kenda vata mai. Wakai lavo ena vagarobuka. Radio bulan do vata San Francisco. Mekauti kanta vatamai.
So if you're interested in learning, right, our campaign is open to everybody. So we would love to be able to provide you a basic education on finance.
Kaya bakay, long binaka may sana kandua, sana tiko binaka talangana kena isaw.
If you are thinking debt, you will attract debt.
Na raw lang ni tos na chana kemu isau, me bakana ibakatangan danyan ni nomutumbu.
Rongoda na imbalan-balan di vaka sa manggo kena bunga tele na nonda programa boro taki. Ano ono na kaloko na via kami di boro buka vi kemo do ya Amerika. Do na kaloko na singile di boro wai vi kemo do mai viti. Wakai labo ena boro buka. Rongodi kena na nonda iboka sala na kena daw ena vika wakai labo. Radio bulan do vata San Francisco. Mekauti kenda vata mai.
Drama na buke ene kena semi na libo seneges. Kita urani buke iko. Girita mai na empower ena ono rua ono saiba dua liwa ono.
Nada be kumarota katiku.
Senga, esan dondi na marau kena boga vingile wo wakila.
Balata?
Kesa mani ka vivi na nongumbula ke mundo sana senga ni lenga. Dona senga talanga ni rere walo ma se mundo warakati ni lavun reng. Balata ni swada kabatu na nongu life insurance policy.
Iko da kamu tuwa katabia. Satu mumantanga na numundrangay siya nga tunaman tatu pepa.
Sa tiko na mate, se senga na pepa, senga na lenga. E se rawa nga nindu na nomu life insurance, ve Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance. Na kambani ni life insurance ka nga niti kenda binaka na ito okay, kanda sa mo iboga tiko-tiko ngoya Amerika. Rawa-rawa sar na boga leo fomo. Text mai kina vasay wawalu, walu wandua, tolu walu lima, en a kena tuku matelalai. Ongo na Radio Mula do Wata San Francisco. Me kauti kenda vatamai.
Namatambao
Totoo mo sinan to mo ni ko maro te kia mabe turangan ita. Ile turanga tau eh. Madi usalauda na ka na lulu ni wika kata burren tele no kubula. Sa boto beken don miniti me pana kolok siang. Sa asar ngana kolok ko pedila no bono minito no pinggaran. Isa orto na nugu ni tamainga do lasa-lasa tu na non rai bosa-bosa. Tuan na ital no bo wili katongo. Au no mo sa tal lo tagamandad do boso cheu na nung turang maramanita. May na yan no pagkatila lo matuto ka may ngaw. Na kabina di kutur mantangan ng uno pinanggo. Uwamula manday ni na ichuk-chuk bo turang may nang daw ni bulu pinangan ng turang ang tagalingaw. Ken kuro bo turang may sawi ken do bulu pinangan may samsoma na wikama. Waktu lagi na may lebu kay ngau may nukuloa. Do bulu pinangan na batita wi ka na kuro bo turang may lobu. Iling ni bingkarabi na ken na rara ni wanga bu karere binaka. Na non da biti na airport may lobu. Waktu lagi na may wikim do may bandar-bandar kay dua. Ken vi korto to tal. May ngarani do bulu pinaka. Baka nuni pinaka to yan wikim ni to sar na turang maramanita. Oni siapa cuma nak kena ni kobar itu kan na post ambil tak turang turang na ita talang seru tulomai. Ya nak kena tak cuma na inta house. Gimana tu kuinggon na cool games Utal matang na bika bola tu kan ingo. May bakalanggau tu nga di nonta bisa mati tu nak kena ni kuai. Oh bakadur na inta house na ngau secondary school may nebilali. Ano ikama rerbe na kana buna toki na korri bulia. Singa sa tugu ni na ndomo ni mawe ken na rakela baga chuna ndui house na turanga maramalita ngo bola o turanga sairu si miratul mai ko tugu na chuna tal nongo ni lei tal ken asa ka tuisuba na koko ni be kela bak ya dona ngonele o miliame o nona tata ngolen lei ndambe toka wara to nona event kay debungan nanta kay saranduri ngona randuri kina o ko enda beto ka ni inda kunra sing mani retung sar rongo to ako na go kila bagchuna tan ngoni to dok ucha sa angon sar may mesadi dio na luben romiliam onyo max gay debungan nanta kay sar tu kila bagtu ngoni sa liut ko chibisu kito cross leg to turaganita atar sareno hai kemundo domo kila saka bito tonggor ko miliami asing bertal morto o ko sa muri sartu ko sa muri sartu andur sareno ko awa mori tamandan no wasi irasara redeno sa iya tu nakail na rengayan asing berangan ko mi lubiano miliami now miliami sa bakal ako lagi boleh karisin atu kereta ron sehari di miliami non apa krus tu main sa ocho tu now miliami apa kalau aku lagi boleh karisin nah kami nak kereta
Nusa serekana lo manigara, dai tiga somo na koroni rosibula. Isale andi mona numa, nanongumbil tanonguni vanua. Tau tongu e mai kasei kola wakaru, salame au nongumbula. Andi ale noa nano mui towo, makala sana tamata tau toko. Mai bakawuna nanongungongomo, peike muni narosini somo-somo. Sombong gerei ngaya ngongu, nau mai wakamo sia nau tongu. Niu nau raya ni kongai, tuwa somu e vinakabe yau meu moku. Nani wakaola o matamalomu, ke mui raunan rau niu lomu. Au diwatu na temeni musumu matamutu wakawuna tuna masini ulungu. Isaya nilala tolo lai-lai, tolo wakiso wakauto ni manrai. Kibina liwani konaurai, kimitiko mai suindua wakasui mirewai. Sale andi talatoka, nano mui tobo na kena magosa. Rendre mai e nano muni loloma, au mai ora e nano muni bosa. Andi susu onongu marama, mo nanungia nano mubanga. Namatamu sawa katumbumbala, mai bakabuna tuna nongu tarikana. Isale andi mona numa, nanongu miuta nomuni vanua. Nautomu e mai kasei kola wakaru, salame yau nongu mula. Somo meu le sutale, au diwatuna kena langi-langi. Ke koni rai da wotuna ya longule, andini se lolotoka e matani vale. Nimo puta, isale andi mona numa, nanongu miuta nomuni vanua. Nautomu e mai kasei kola wakaru, salave yau nongumbula. Santo na sea sea rawa mo mai tobolea kena kamina na waile muria ena watina mukusima don't move na wekangu mai ngaloa keilo mati kamai de sureti tuyani oni baunandeva kemai kemunira ngone marama moni mai sikoma mana kuna sengali baby ale sutale niko sama mole madre au querer meu sapatau veke murau nongu tau querer no vosso tiau irui levu nongu marau na vei vossa mai da buta bembaleta nanda toa lua mei vakandei nande nanda na sota na vei vakani totoka mei vakandei nande nanda na sota na vei vakani totoka mei vakandei nande nanda na sota na vei vakani totoka mei vakandei nande nanda na sota na vei vakani totoka.
Mena korro tiliba na kasaleka mai kandabu ya na matelolo ni West Mbuya na tiliba boys orto metalo takachu ndona biokani ya biokani makausara orto nga mai na norto korro turang tiliba watalaki na dona korro nga mai kandabu tabuki nga loa ke lomachi numbuke lebu ya ndona vitobuta ke na lo mai kandabu ya anda rongo ta chuka na ke ndarto nduika ba correct arto nga bisure chiko orto na ke na marama mai ngaloa mai na tubuloka watalanga kina mai lomachi numbuke lebu orto sabi sure chika ndarto na boys ni tiliba do yalo binakasara do ngole zake do sale somi suka tagimanda erto tugun na nendo sana ngole ngayani awa berta ndo ngono berta kina sana be vendendre na mundu na listale orto sana ga indu bangare erto ngayani orto na mundu tura ka mengaloa ke lo macha ba bulu cigatu bege muruga koran na tura kana marama mai na kandau balam balabu na gere bi korto do sarmate abindabu nitagi ni totoko chuga bi tokani na radio mbulon do bat sibi na pa na tini kabitu na miniti ba ko binaka tagi chuga bi tokani na ekavin binaka ni kuwa
Isang daw bulu binaka. Doon ngay ito kimay, endo binaka to banggara.
Iyo, nimbulo binaka. Kito singito kibo sarangamay. Satu token dino Pennsylvania. May bako tumuli ang madoni turta na dadaka na tumbuni wayway. Iya, kito sa mista kasaranga nakaka na wakabiti. Kito rongoda, nitugay kendo na stondo bulita kikenda to kakana.
Iyo, na Fiji Cover Store. Ito kasarangay ligori, nakakede tukina. Na Fiji Cover Store, kau te viti mai wakaboleka ka waka sebutaka na wana nanu. Woli te tukina na tinika, tini bulu makau, takas ice cream, na mateni, na ika, na mbele, yado kina chase ni gunengona, na twisties, na bongo, kay na bean, kay na bungatali. Sangay lebu sarangan ngona kareang gona binakadina. Ngay indolo mo talangango na nondato boutique. E politiki na naisulu kanta kilaita ni kina daga dilinga karena nisoli boy loloma. We kemani mai Pennsylvania kina vebu no bole kata. Era talangani wako tanga mai na nomani ota na taliboni se email karena tau nangai wako tanga na nomando boli. Yana Fiji Cover Store LLC, 100 South Mount Vernon Avenue, Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Nabo di taliboni vitu saiba vitu wadi urua vitu diwa vitu ono se vandu lima tolu saiba vitu Diwarua Vitolu se email kina FijiCoverStorePA@gmail.com. Nungu chisu nungu badua. Dorongode na vima mani ono kina vitu ene kawni bugululu we kemada we California. We mani ruane kavi kina tolu ene singalewu ni lotilewu we kemada we viti. E warotaka na New Methodist Christian Fellowship USA. Rongode na Radio Mbulandova ta San Francisco. me kauti kenda vatamai.
Senga mbega ni pais teki tiku na nomulore na buku ni smoke check kita urau ni buki iko. Girita mai na neto team ni Empower Team and the Southern California Pacific Islander Community Response Team mokuneki na nabibu kabagai labo kasi senga ni saumi. Giri mai na ono rua ono saiba dua liwa ono.
E levo tu na matanggali life insurance e Amerika. Ka levo talanga na kena idindu. Ia na Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance e nganiti kenda mo binaka na ito kay kanda sa may bungi tigo-tigo na buno levo mo. Kaya wala may bangande, so sa may bunga tigo-tigo tunde. O tawi matutiko si Sen. Raw sara na bunga levo. Katigo talanga na ilawi maruroy. Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance. Nakamba ni dondo nga ito sa mga claim. E na loma ni rosa nga bulu kabana ya uwa kasama niya na lenga isang oti karuwa na yung bag. Sigaw mo na website ko ito magori si TextBuy. Kinabasa yung walu-wandua, tolu-tolu-walu-lima e na kinay tugu-tugu matay na lang. Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance. Na nonda biti ke ngasi ni buli paulange reki rungodi ena lima na kaloko ena kabini lotu lebu ve mundo e Amerika tini karuwa na kaloko ena singa lebu ni baka romboka ve mundo mai viti ena radio mbula tua bata San Francisco me kauti kenda bata
Ito binungu tati kuna hepatitis B ya sanga tuni bakilau ko ento naka Mea dhavo ningele itaura na hepatitis B test na madhau sao. Asama ni lidhula ni tataro ni hepatitis B. Karato sana tangu makikina na neto matubabali mana matirero bakyo. Sakabi biki na manile indike bikator na hepatitis B test. Ritartar mai kina taliboni 527 ono bituba 582 sa sikomana www.sfhetbfree.org na kena itukutuk matalilay.
Nasa boleh berbitakan yang kami di ngerabi ini. No boleh binang mati longo, mai serne Australia boleh binang misla langabesi. Binang sabule menonton siapa tu mana biak tu sar marama tahu. Abang ini binang tu yang ni beki beni kartu nomor ni tokan tu ngerabi tapi buat cukup. Yang kami dengan kuah. No boleh binang ling di ngerabi. Tu tokan na mau limat mai Santa Rosa. Malo bagi besar turang ayanu. Semacam kemendo buat cuma hai. Yang kaya bini kuah. Waktu lagi nabi Meriani ke kelerayani na patu rombulu bena kana maramo we kangu naksa bole buna nom rau siama talanga mai na kabina kan dikua ro yalo bena kan ro ke wasia tu ni bagale buna to bitokani se sia taka tunga ni bagale busara ya kabina bengara beni nai endona sere enda rongota bagale lai duan ngauna Wambutan na yang pakai bekasawat si out maiki na mayurtun na mati lolawa na ni ropatin rose na yata ni serenggo tugu di bakana ni talno ni pepe ni nakelo na pepe ni nakelo ugere talang na serenggo sandur kan na kena sarabi wabu kita tunga nonda buru-buria bikin menito sar na turang marama na ita bukan bimbici ko bikin na pepe na marama kay nangone lewa may nakelo na nomuni sergo abo bimbici ko be nungu brada watsen tambua may Sacramento pinakabali usar chigina nomuni siya machuko may sergo nomuni talanga yan ay kabi binagani ko bakit lang kita be ratumeli luitonga may flex ta be suba darong ko tamad na to serre orto na pepe ni nakelo na mata ni pepe lumisang kay tale
Viva
Radio Bulan Dua Vata me kau ti kenda vata mai San Francisco ki burubura sema mai ngai wase yani.
Walu-walu mikirisi masimai o tangin yurai di rato nalalai isa turang adavan onda tou dala pero tou suluman na senga tu nakakana dia kabisonu koeado mai kivale rato tangin nangonin bagi moku tale sombole ipeni nadava nongu dala mekau mai bei na samunika kana mataka bake meu kau kibale ningula au remudi rato nalbengu yandundua sana miu mekanongu vale bakandua Leiti ako singay ang bakirua Toso mai memito sana beta tau Ko lumatua mo susomi takiao No maniraw na ngone melpaka takiao Weni nongu boku sana mai rawaiau Modeta mai meme au sana liungo Samberana tangi kei na bei kaeso Isa leiti oba nongu itavi ni sevo Serala lai na ngone au sama lengango Kumai tangi toka e sani nongu longa Nomu dala kede pini au sabo sota Nongu yala yala au nandau karona Kimbulu sekilangi au nandau maroroya Nongu yala yala au nandau karona Kimbulu sekilangi au nandau maroroya
Santi sa sarap di lolong banda baka muria tu na sero ya na kabi di bing grabe din tay don ser se katon makau sa raturan kai seru serebi sa baka embakin nunggu boso to bolitu ninda baka sarap to gan na hele aloke na no to vitang ita kita kana ngone listo ngai di palo tali bodu tu siang mata ni kuta ndo na kakan sene labo do baka sama tak ninda rondo hotel nga sona ser ni kuta listo non da baka nanu o mi bichu weekend na tai lebo na ngona sa lago tunga dalago nga mai vale santange mai dunrubir chugo na batagir na ngone ni siang tu na kakan siang okay to sarga menda to wa ruta chugani to gale libu tunga na non to maro na talo ni sere abag diro lo masara sandin dia talangan ngo dan tangger ngota en radio bulan dua bata na kuku ni pe mo ko ya eletin sarga na mati antare na tapa ni vital noya sangga litang itu na to tata na sa ni non bulu na non to nana samber to dok baletan ya dundu ni sibi so te graonga na mate ni ngona siang samber yo kala ni indo suta vital tungan ndende non dembula non debu vale debi bala so era maboa au sana ba masuti kan na turang kan taylo binak ke bakan ta bimba ko mani ko bada sa ko ngani rendo terre yo iranda non tanana o irnon do sincersar rendo marro e karoni ba binaka en vengono todo cosar voi soblu kapana miniti me lima na kaloko en radio bulo bata e San Francisco en akabi binga ravi e ndai e poi reta dona turanga ngo klani kuwa mai non do puno lo mani bici nda bo bibina ken buku ni non sanga na nume na tolu na singango o ya uira na wekanda na India rangola ni bici as indentured laborers ser na ngirmiti da pagomuri juga ni kuwa sa te ko butagi kino yan na songo na singa tolu pagari tang don na turang sabi na dar songo mai huni kau mai lambasa bosa sartunga baga India na turang go huni kau mai lambasa era lebu kino iran na wekantan go da India pagari tang ko the nation would be in a different state if Grimitias would not have come to Fiji. Na bika pagreta ka sabi na rasong na non na pagobri pinakataka na non ra yato mai wira na wekandango na non ra mai sulia non rembula non ra sacrifices apakata lang kina na bika sami rawata ni ayat undorangun na satu nibir sa ucin na teb non ra bingarabi ko sabi listale na somi non na passage lesu India amani pagobri pinakataka ni soy lako sorang ka mai nanuma meratunga mai viter mai bueta dake na wikan di non tembula da sama itu bidur magitu boleh kan di lebu na non bisnis e non tebuno la mani bici wa na ken baka torta kita non tebunua tu ni sa ni lebu talang sa parta ko kwa dolakan non na kerbu sustalanga e na buku ni bikan dan to pador tu bir na India o ken dan na itoke e na bingon na sauci ya na girmit day celebration me na non tebuno la mani bici na ken kauchiko theme commemorating and celebrating diversity. Oya katini kan doni singa na singa ni kuwa me ato chuga ne katini kalima ni me na programo ngo mai na koro turanga mai na bilata mai rewa oya na numikina oya na katini kan doni me tini ka wal sa bulu kama ya pota kina na wanga na Syria anta kilani se lurai votu sartunga na zakau mai na virtun na wekanda mai na lomania sana baka turang oreo se mai nasilai na vital noya na singini mataka sana baka turichu na songo lebu mai na tini kendua kin dio sarna kalo ko na bongi na Albert Park suba baka talanga kin mai na vitu iyo na ngono sarnga na liado kin liado sarna dio kalo ko na bongi baka talanga kin mai nukulau na tulu kina va erna ngobata soko ni kina erna wanga singa boro italanga na Albert Park ena tomani chuki na Grimit celebration bakatala kina na singa tambu sana keme bakata var kina oya ando na exhibition Grimit heritage exhibition mai na tinikan do kina ono ena Albert Park talanga isu bakata bo binaka kina non da matin tu sa seta site tegi saranga don na holiday mer bakana numikina bakaka kina oya na 5-day program ni usot iyo tini kedua apa nasi kan na celebrate juga na vika rawata na wekan tanggo sanda mai tu durma gitu na funolo moni bicho mata apa beri binak ope bia di talangan na vika bagreta to na wekan o baka sama ta ke baka ambia kami asia nguira kenda beka da be bakata kir tutul tumbanga na matin tumbanga irna wekanda na Melanesia be bakata ki Papua New Guinea beka si Solomoni na ngonongo ukila na bibia mber toka bokalele na non da toso si beleteninda tunga bakata ikenda ya ni rangole mena wekanda kondo na kan non ramai bilingi kanda talanga kenda ni toke menta radi rimba si kata di na buru-buru pinaka sa lisubo chen irna wekanda go pambimbici na buku di rawaka bakang bisnisi anda bawa di pinaka ni liu sar na toke karena bakang bisnisi na ngonongo may non tapuno lo may vici oba mo ni indono bakang pinaka na non rana numyo irana non ta bumbu tutu irana wekanda go ersela ko sarmai na buku ni kena mai ngarabi nang gele te bagi nondo po non to punua da kena binaka da sapa kila tu nangonong go ta mai duru male wir tu na bekando go ko sapa retak le busar na beka era bo politika ende chukina me ata bo chukuma ene sikuna kan ko ena ital no lega leka ena buku ni kena maru ta chukuma na pakene suba o ena singa binaka ni kuwa me ata ena singa tambu o ena Girmit Day celebration ronondolu ruasanga bulu katolu Waka bidi menang tak cuna bitokani, ena radio bulan dua patah upedi la nopo nopo nindo ni bingkarabi, ni sangge siapa mai, ni sambulo bina mai, ngona radio bulan dua patah, kelana tahu, mekau tikian dapat cuma ini biokani, ena bingung todo besar.
Wakai lavo ena bagarobuka, radio bulan dua patah San Francisco, mekau tikian dapat mai.
So if you're interested in learning, right, our campaign is open to everybody. So we would love to be able to provide you a basic education on finance.
Kaya bakay, long binakamayan sana kandua, sana tiko binakatalangana kena isaw.
If you are thinking that, you will attract that.
Na raw kan lang ni tos na chana kemisaw na bakal na ibakatangan danyan din ni nomutumbu.
Rangoda na imbalan-balan di vaka sa manggo kena bungatala na nonda programo boro taki. Ano ono na kaloka na via kami ni boro buka vi kemado ya Amerika. Dona kaloka ni single puni boro wai vi kemado mai viti. Wakai labo ena boro buka. Rangodi kena nanon roi baka sala na kena daw ena vika wakai labo. Radio Bulan Dovata San Francisco. Mekau tikanda batamai.
Mbega ni paiste kitigo na nomulore na buku ni smoke check kita urau ni bukiiko. Girita mai na neto team ni Empower Team and the Southern California Pacific Islander Community Response Team mukuneki na nabibu kabagai labo kasanga ni saumi. Gir mai na ono rua ono saiba dua liwa ono.
Navabe ko marota ketigo.
Senga, esan dondi na namaraw kinabaga dhingile wo wakila.
Balata?
Kesa mani kadhibi na nongumbula kemundo sana senga nilenga. Dona senga talanga ni rere walo masemundo warakati ko nila bundrang-reng. Balata ni swadakaba tu na nongu life insurance policy.
Iko na kam to wakatapya. Sa tumumantanga na numundrang ay senga tu na mantutupya pa.
Sa tiko na mate, si senga na pepa, senga na lenga. Ese rawanganin dua na nomu life insurance ve Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance. Na company ni life insurance kanga niti kenda binaka na ito okay kanda sama iwaga tiko-tiko ngoya Amerika. Rawa-rawa sar na bawa leo fomo. Text mai kina vasa iwa walu wandua, tolu walu lima, ena kena ituku-tuku matailalai. Yavalata, deo nanggay dalata na radio bulan dua vata. Wait talo te kina na bika membalata na nondong bula. May weira na kanan daw may natambanan ni bula so. Nasi na puniway. Rangoda na bana kaloka na bika Avenue City and na veto ko ni Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance. Na company ni Life Insurance kang anitikan na kaywiti Amerika.
Baka bini binatang kicung na bitokan na kabini bing garabi din tayo kaya tarong kicung na ngauna bikito emerke sa po itini kalima na miniti may lima na kaloko. Una baka bulot siguro na biyakan di rasya mo na kabini nga ni kuwa bay arto na matilolo ni Ratumeli Raul Itonga bulo bina kapita kara baka talaki na besta Lingalau ni bulo bina kabe na isi Randandi na Ituba Raul Itonga Ratumeli flex staff na kortura nga lebe suba do sambulo bina kabe na bale buno bitokan na kabini na kanikuwa baka talaki na bay mbani kawale may kambani Ora din ro wateng wabog sa rajungan na Bangor may Santa Rosa. Doon siya to nang gele sota mandani. Rongo to chugo no chambe ni chugo to ni do nang bele chibi nakasar nga o o itoka be mundo may namara may takingor abang ni binakatyo di be ni kampanya ni tagi toka chino vil new vil sar bagale buna new ya kabi gali sota di bena no muni ba abang ni binakabe litia tubakawa Antônio ser men numiki neli sepedi bunia matana ser ne mai Australia ana Rose Hoyt mbulo bina ke mnio klan ni musit ke munita ngana ser saba kaya baki ni ubosota boli tu na tangi na mosi na butungu mai ve turanga kai seru serebi kerto na nona mate lolo Antônio ser kere chumengo Marieta Mbororoa wel CBM melai andimuri sandi ni okay dogi nama katoka na seru ngori ndona ngauna leka mengo ni sembero yang tana rongo talenga tona ser makau talenga ngo na kabina ngi tai ba diri tu na baka sama ke baka sangolo cilambasa mai na keneng kangi di suku toka baka talenga kina mai wingele do kele ni rara ni ongo buka ndona no motoka me kuchi ko baka na tauni toka ruwa talenga sa ndo talenga na Tapu City sena iya sa tok talenga din don muani tahun ni lambasa waga nu bina kabi kemunin na buli tagi juga na market lebu lambasa na market nika waga talenga kin na na pasel ai kere waga sarang ure tu na bunu ando buli tagi toki na pasel rama na mbachi di wai totoko ya na kabi na kani kuwa hikale lebu mai lambasa ngendo so bina kai na ta Sara to mer tuku na Sara tuku dan ni na koro ya ko na koro ni seni ros belum na kana rosi ke lambasa Sara tuku dan berkata mana basu na rosi ke lambasia bulasia ngolaisa bulokoro
lambasa na koro ni seni rosi ni bula serau na bembongi Tau bakari bilolo mai mangani mosi Isa ulobi Andre lo magu meurawati Mura-mura na hukumu isa na budia Iko lo magu ni sayau Leo vatu rekuka na vendelana kena venduda makala lama ni dau kambe mayo bula bau taba tuosuba Eya kami darun dau ngandi boli Namu bosan na suka na loli Eka midhanyu makana numaboli Isa nagurosi Andre lo magu meurawati Mura-murai na bukumu isa nagudia Iko elo mampu ni sayau Esa leo vatu rekuka na vendelana kena
Duluan in res, penambela ni tia masena, even if
Radio Bulondo Vata me kauti kenda vata mai San Francisco ki burubura sema mai ngai wase yani.
Sandi sartura ken barama totoka nando moi taniela ma bigirto nandonro langi ke na utusolo isa na ibeso nimbula bagawati talo tak cukup weekend ken tan loya weekend na ka bini bing rabi ende na radio mbulun dobat okay ni mataka sana kick off talanga kino ya na Toulouse Sevens mai rani sen gitu kira na ortodo turbo ke nangone le be mate timi na nando burubura wil tiki na nando mate timi ni ngone lewa atala kin berto no turbo na tournament go na tidamantak na automatic qualification kin Olympic Games pakanda sa kila chiko na yutingo sa yuchichiko ni tournament wira na marama ni uchingawaya sa namatalo din na champion wira na marama kaya kerto na turanga matalo chikin na 2024 Olympic Games may Paris arto na top 3 wilikin na matime host arto san automatic nga na norto na ngole dai ki ayrto sangachi ko na nondo matime na bakakina to no soto batake USA batalakina batake Afrika batake baranise tolu sarnga na chimi koko abagando mumbula arto na sota ba nondo matime oya na bagruai ni boitul no miniti me ndona kalok na matakan ni enambong ni Borwai bakatalakin na mata tim ni South Africa kina mata tim ni Baranise bakatalakin na mata tim ni Fiji ana start no to campaign na sing ni mataka batake era mata ningito Fiji ana batake Spain o chasa ngi sota batake capai na kuru ningito kina mata tim ke Great Britain ya en Singapore Borwai men no to benua singa tambo tiko be kenda ya kata sapa nuni binak tu ni bertono dorbo uret sino bitena kenda tu itambango tu tere ni bata toka mai Toulouse tu bagre tak talando ni patabulidi Ben Golling sertu they're raring to go tinangan ni simber sar sungan donatun mertunggang kakina and we stop to the kaya to mengo yengo na yuchu ni stands and the rhythm anda na bon wartu na rania do santa masula kira na kela bakira and then non to sanga men non to nganga mai to lose watala kina na ken yuti mai London irto ngone lew sa yuchu chingo da bo anu ni bilang tal tungan be se puli kirto ngone lew ni nando nang gitu binagar to na bagritaka ve irne boni betimi karena sota patatiko en mo ni mazao en da pakana mat sa chukin go bo anu ni binagar chukin na bugu ni bitokani en radio mbulundo banta en ya kabi ni singa bukilulu en dai
Nungu chisu nungu banua. Dorongo de na vima mani ono ki na vitu e na kauni bugululu ve kemunda wa California. Ve mani rua na kavi ki na tolu e na singalewu ni lotilewu ve kemunda wa viti. E waro taka na New Methodist Christian Fellowship USA. Rongo de na radio mbulando vata San Francisco me kauti kenda vata mai.
Mandreba na beibuke ene kena somi na namulibu-libu seneges kita urani bukiiko. Girita mai na empower ena ono rua ono saiba dua liwa ono.
E levo tu na bima tanggali life insurance e Amerika. Ka levo talanga na kena itu. Ia na Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance e nganiti kenda po bina kana ito kay kanda sa may bungi tigo-tigo na buno levo mo. Kaya wala may bangande so sa may bunga tigo-tigo tunde. O tawi matatiko sa sen. Raw sara na bunga levo. Katigo talanga na ilawe maruroi. Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance. Na company doon nga daw sa mga claim. E na loma ni rosa nga bulu ka pa na yawa kasama niya na lenga isang oti karuan na ambag. Siko mo na website na tungkori si Textby. Kinabasa ng walu-wandua, tolu-tolu-walu-lima e na kinay tugu-tugu matay na lang. Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance.
Asibikan tara 5 na vana minute do bulbulna kana matabio kaningo ena kabina kana bulbulna ka salo te manono kena no muni bubale bulbulna ka wakta lakina be latele tanta beta bulbulna ka maramakai wakta lakina be anti Sandy. Hope that you really enjoyed your birthday yesterday. Thank you once again for tuning in to Radio Bulundo Banta this afternoon. Bago nini binak talaga be pasya mata malo may susanga may samoy santora kana nagudo pa binak taka nanodo siya matal tunga may na marama ito okay naturang ito okay rado bingarabi tu na biyan na Pasifika wikibin na nasi may Guam Saipan eto masela watala kina may samo kitong kibin na marama naturang ni sa do siya matumikina may pakatagi pasya mata malo and may susanga may samo na kabinang ni kunsi na pakasama man eto Pasifika wambulo talaga be Joe Kesa may Aitutaki may nayatu kukoya gondo na bamen rongo may na korkos go chowe libola do salibing karabi sartu may nayatu kuka na gono go ijo arto sanu ni community ni bamimbi arto na gangs na bachini watalaki na nonda ruhud may na indobi may hana o za o nona bro arto kede na boys kede wilki na moji may nandro supermarket na turangan ni Biusebu sali uwa sa ito ibawa sa kimamilolo matuto ko sarto yan di kemuni Joe ando na ka na nortondo mistake kemuni chiko orto na bulo ni bawa nangono ni sangwal kina bako ni binang to yan di Joe Kesa kerto na ling ni bingkarabi to toka may na hotel rabing karabi chikina may Aitutaki o ya may na yatukukan na kabi ni bingkarabi tinday. Abang bula pe mala langa besi barta ka na pasel limbamba singa ami amida sanjina sara bakata laki be ratu meli rolitong unitang na maru taga suna bitokani ratu ena ka bina ni kuwa baka no ni bina katalanga be erto na mate lawa ne lela na sobi nakana sema chuko mai San Jose litia tubakawa duruka vakalolo ai keraki sa kila samba dingo na sartu anin duruka ngo nuita kini totoka chukuna baka singlebu baka mi ertu baka ni bi baka ni tal chukuma iso kura baka bola tal chukuma ken baka singlebu Eka ni kuai. Ya sa normal tu ya. Kita sana ngai chilo matongana ni toweli sa nango ni kita bagana numu ke menitu ya. Na baga singa lebutiko mai na nonta bonua lomani obiti. Bagana ni binaka be kem salau nga saum bulu binaka nuita kini totoka chiku nabi tokani me sa nangori. Bagatalang kina be mel binaka mel sa machkumai miri rabanga ke mere kumbu ambola rosa bulu binaka sekan nuita be kina we lendu di mai na limbu nandali loma mai bonu ambalabu. Nanda butongo nandali numa de siama mai nandali mai no sori senga ngonga na limbu nandali na limbu mai nandali mai loma mai bonu ambalabu. Okay, to sarango na serengo ena kai bina ni kuwa no muni chiko lendo di kerto to ko sar mai loma mai bonu ambalabu. Ngoma bi tumundu ke mbale koroi. Malo be ke munua weta. Mai bonom balabu. Kena be korto do sarai. Malo au pito. Malo solo i be kito me yono.
Take
bulan dua vata. Cisco ki pura-pura. Sema mai gai você yani.
Auna taurande wiki no muina ki makawa makawa. Auna numa tua nunguro sitale maila kemba kemba. Naruna salavata eno beita beita imi mea dokina make kasanga ifinisi.
Nations production.
Ruken barama tu ruken ngone leo totokan tu mono tu na Paradise Roots be kenta na kabi de bing rabin dai. Kuani lengan daw lamani kemuni muni don domongai. Dora seri talitek sar cukup kali menon tu mono lamani vici. Ya sa nono tu bibonga maruta gitu kana mati lolo na Paradise Roots sena wakam totoka mai partai sibuni sa kutumekina gona boy rusa bulu kali meniti me ono na kaloko. Na uni ono na kuciken tangan di bakal me ado na sibino no rusa bulu meniti. Bercanda sana runga tanda bosan bulu ni kelo non the program boka matawa nonggu cisu nonggu benua mertombi tabata New Methodist Christian Fellowship ke nama katoko maina kenoya na awa kataraba eu pedila no bono nindo ni bingrabi ke moni sangi siam mai bio kan lamani nimbulo benaka inge wasia tu di boga lebu non to pata patongo na kavina ni kuwa
na nonda biti ke ngasini buli paulange reki rongodi ena lima na kaloko ena kabini lotu lebu ve kemudo e Amerika tini karona kaloko ena singa lebu ni baka romboka ve kemudo mai viti ena radio mbula tua bata San Francisco me kauti kenda batama
Endona mate kuniti wale bobe kenda mana wasa Pasifika na hepatitis B. E kuneini ndua mana baya tini corona nini winua mana wasa Pasifika Amerike ni tobi reti kuna matengo na hepatitis B. Ongo libu dhaki na kenara libe tobi sena tobi kuna matini ngadangada se liver cancer. Endende mendo kila kesa tebi kwentiko. Mebaka ni senguso tini kene baka takila kila se symptoms. Baka bo kesa mbimbi na mate. Mbimbi ngone kila mono baka nikewi membaleta na hepatitis B. Peter mai kena telefoni 526 ono vitu va 51 sisi kobo na nondo to website www.sfhepbfree.org.
Isando umbulu binaka. Dosan kay toki mai, endo binaka tu bangara.
Iyo, nimbulo binaka. Kito singi toki bo sarangamay sa totokan dino Pennsylvania. May bako tumuli ang madoni turta na dadakan na tumbuni wayway. Iya, kito sa mista kasarangan nakaka na wagabiti. Kito rongoda, nituwe kendo na stondo bulita kikenda to kakana.
Iyo na Fiji Cover Store. Ito kasarangay ligori na kakede tukina. Na Fiji Cover Store. E kau te viti mai voka boleka ka voka se butaka na bona nanu. Woli te kitukina na tinika, tini bulu makau, Taka's ice cream, na mateni, na ika na mbele. Yado kina chase ni gunengona, na twisties na bongo kay na bean, kay na bungatali. Sangay lebu sarangan ngona kareang gona binakadina. Kay indolo mo talangango na nondato boutique. E woli te kina na isulu kanta kilaita ni kina kina daga dilinga karami soli boy loloma. Wei kemuni mai Pennsylvania, kena veibu no bole kata. Erau talanga ni wakau tanga mai na nomani ota na telefoni se email, kara tau nangai wakau tanga na nomando boli. Yana Fiji Cover Store LLC, 100 South Mount Vernon Avenue, Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Naboni telefoni vitu seba vitu, wadi orua vitu diwa vitu ono, se vandu lima tolu seba vitu, diwa rua vitu tolu, se email kena Fiji Cover Store PA@gmail.com. Radio Mbulando Vata Mekauti Kenda Vata Mai San Francisco ki Burupura Sema mai ngai wasea
Sinai sambala bundina endo sengani veirai suwa ke mai lewandaru simba musuka sombu ya binawani siwa songongani marau ne bakatangi ni durumiao aula musuka tunga senga taleve auna mandua suwa bakamalua nikuwa nambongi ni ngunu singa auna musuka tunga senga taleve auna mandua suwa bakamalua nikuwa na mbongi ni ngunu singa amusandenge ausamodenga eke amusandenge ausamodenga eke amusandenge que manda mai tuisi lave na linga ndarondani si kuatale niko kao ai no musinga ni sudu enda toso mai no gulewa mai tukuna veya uno mulenga masa ati indina lenana amusandenge ndaru mai meke auna musuka tunga senga taleve auna mandua suwa bakamalua nikuwa nambongi ni ngunu singa auna musuka tunga senga taleve auna mandua suwa bakamalua nikuwa nambongi ni ngunu singa amusandenge ausamudenga eke amusandenge ausamudenga eke amusandenge ausamudenga eke amusandenge ausamudenga eke auna musuka tunga senga taleve auna mandua suwa bakamalua nikuwa nambongi ni ngunu singa amusandenge ausamudenga eke 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 amusandenge
Salva kairena nungula Salva kanu sangai sormai Lubengu ngaromai besukia Ena bulango Lebu nana nomu namateni Ilamo sa sengani alamai Ravia kamatiko taluremu Kulaki numai Konave isali Konave isali Kaundamu itakamu Moresai Kami vengo no matani
vata me kauti kenda vata mai San Francisco ki burubura sema mai ngai wo se yani.
Why
Sumai na tu sangat jauh, meu no
Piasan di zarturan ken marama ni talon ni uram buto ya bekenta na kabe de binga ramani dai dangini de lei topa orto mai toman tu na bi mga maruta ge bekenta sa on kaloko ndora kana totol ni tos ni ngauna botalanga ndona ua mero de rumbi na mata team ni Golden State Warriors and basketball go be kito na Bay Area sanango on ndo barong chuba nonda bono lo manubici ndon ngito benaka ya na basketball klan do bugadur tonga mai na intelen mai wanga so na kanta mai lo toka bakata laikin na korturang levo subo do badur na ista basketball championships ya emerke ko baka ndo ngito kilele sartu lebu na rongo LeBron James Stephen Curry werna ken tarambu se liuyani Michael Jordan Larry Bird bunga sarra Magic Johnson lebo enda rauni enda kilatu en huru-hurung goy lebo ganda do tumbo tak mabis na sare to nabi matagali best ni basketball ni NBA Bulls na Lakers na Celtics ya na kabidi kuwa vitu na kalonko na Chase Center ona sota kina na kalima ni non raungito sana sanganga na mata timi ni LA Lakers na kabina ni kuwa mertungganga sa arto sana Lucy arto sana Nrukas arto na ngai lifestyle may nambagi bo arto na chamben ni NBA may nambagi sa uchi wayan na mata timi ni Golden State Warriors nito timi na Bay yan na mata timi chamben niya ni kuwa tugon no Stephen Kerr sana ngai lore ni kuwa o na ingu ke na ngachi ni londo to na chambeni marto na sanga marto na nganga ni kuwa to leso ni LA rona ke me pasa sa watale ena Chase Center kala ni Ben kayo Ben o tuba raw sartunga sa wa bet sartunga go o bina kata choko mendo me raw bet wat sarango kay penso kini mendo raw bet wata via me raw bet beka na undolu ya na kabini kuwa keba ka ndo be bet wat ke no kai o penso kini ge bitar mandani bikoya men keba ka ndo na Lakers klan yo brother Knox klan di do timi chugo ni Lakers na no go brongo ye le tal chingar do timi wa habu chugo ni Lakers ertu na Bay Area baleta banga so endo tu na biaw sang bata sen nongu timi tu nga do fenta tu na Lakers mai nonda puno mai bici ya do mai America se Lakers tu nga ya ko nga kachu ke soccer do fenta ka so na timi hanru kai ni na ma timi ni Kings na be timi tale so en to na gito bole tale yo da bobu binaka arsate ko bula ka tala mai so na timi lebu en NBA en ngon ko pitu na kroko kikop kina bekito nanggito ya sale lebu sa artomba di awatungo orto na Great Council of Chiefs San Bruno en kena kababa waka sa barta ka lebu sa tatabu chugo ngon gol lebu sa may na nonra puno era vili new tokina ambe kata ki neita di Lady D may moraga do chia chugo may bakuko meron nganga na Golden State Warriors na kabi na ni kuwa waka no ni binaka tuya de kemo ni neita di watalang kina be maramakai Rose Balsa klan yo nindo baut stak taltunga na mati Golden State Warriors sabang no ni binaka tuya de labu ni sarngito ndra baka na mata kina be keto California na ekabi ni bengarabi ndai radio mbulun do bata sibina ono na vana miniti sibina ono rosa mula miniti nda sana baka na mata kina do programu baka matawa nongu chisu nongu banua
isando umbulu binaka dosen gaito kimai endo benaka do bangara
iyo nimbula binaka kito sengi toki bo sarangamai satu token dino Pennsylvania mai bako mulia madoni turtana dada kana tumbuni wai iya kito samista kasarangana kakana bagabiti kito rongoda nitugai kendo na stonda buli teki kenda to kakana
iyo na Fiji Cover Store toka saranga ilingori na kakede tukina na Fiji Cover Store kau te viti mai voka po leka ka voka se butaka na voka na nanu. Woli te ki tukina na tinika, tini bulu makau, Taka's Ice Cream, na mateni, na ika, na mbele, yado kina chase ningu nengona, na twisties, na bongo, kay na bean, kay na bunga tali. Sangay lebu saranga nengona, kareng, gona binakandina. Ngay indolo bo talangango na nondato boutique. Woli te kina na isulu kanta kilaita ni kina daga dilinga, karami soli boy loloma. Ve kemani mai Pennsylvania, kena vebu no wale kata. Rau talanga ni wakau tanga mai na nomani ota na telefoni se email karatau nangai wakau tanga na nomando voli. Yana Fiji Cover Store LLC, 100 South Mount Vernon Avenue, Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Nabari telefoni vitu saiba vitu wadi orua vitu diwa vitu ono se vandu lima tolu saiba vitu diwa rua vitu tolu se email kena fijicoverstorepa@gmail.com. Nungu chisu nungu banua. Dorongote na vima mani ono kina vitu ene kawani bugululu we kemado we California. We mani rua ene kawi kina tolu ene singalewu ni lotilewu we kemado we viti. E warotaka na New Methodist Christian Fellowship USA. Rongote ene radio mbulando vata San Francisco me kauti kenda vata mai.
Sena vega ni pais teki na nomulore na buku ni smoke check kita urau ni buku iko. Girita mai ni tu team ni Empower Team and Southern California Pacific Islander Community Response Team mokuneki na nabibu kabagai labu kasenga ni saumi. Giri mai ena ono rua ono saiba dua liwa ono.
E levo tu na bima tanggali life insurance e Amerika. Ka levo talanga na kena itu. Ia na Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance yang niti kanda mo binaka na ito kay kanda sa may bungi tigo-tigo na buno le mungo. Kaya wala may bangande, so sa may bunga tigo-tigo tunde. O tawi matitiko si Sen. Raw sara na pangaleo fo. Katigo talanga na ilawi maruroy. Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance. Na company doon nga ito sa mga claim. And aloma ni rosa nga bulu kabana ya uwa kasama niya na lenga isang oti karuan na ambag. Sigaw mo na website ko tungkol si Textby. Kinabasa ng walu-wandua, tolu-tolu-walu-lima, e na kinay tugtugong matay na lang. Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance.
Sibikan tanang ono na bitu na miniti baka binibinang tagisig na bitokan na nakabinibing karabin din time. Ano ba kung bulumantakan ni Bay Maundao, baka binibinang tagisig na munisya machikumay, baka talaki na mutil so bulan-bulan ka sa baka nini pinaka na bugun pinka rabu may upang botong baka may na Black Rock may napatuloy po may Nandi baka nini pinaka na nita timbi pinaka talang okay mo ni mesa ng gori napalibsar turang samu na kabidi pinka rabu tin tayo baka nini pinaka to ni bir todo ko sara do pinka rabu bata chiko na kabidi pinaka ni kuwa baka talang kina bay Miss Lalanga besi isa na maramago maramatau di bono lebu go santu sia mutunga meserni anda be kabi todong sar binaka wata laki na be merek kumbombola waga ni binaka talanga birtu na mata lalawa torto kerser tsubai na kabi na ni kuwa we torto na gangsa nei anaisi Fullman Jenny Fullman mga Oman ya may masket isa waga ni binaka na bugo na ni sia masarba ya pakaya usar tumai na kabina ni ko bakata laki na be kalsa muria tambua takala bina kabale Mr. Takala na siya machukumai na kabina ni ko bakata laki na be brother be turangan ita mari ke rambrau nimbula bina na Black Shark nuita gini set todo ko chukuna bitokani na kabina be ngarafi dai bakata laki na be ndona tabalengo tu dengun na evolurua bago ni binaka na sa bole na siya machukumai rotavale nuita gini toko chukuna bitokani na kabina ni kuaya buku ni soso yang gona so na basa amba di derumi tuki na gona valu bosa koko binaka marama tau Caroline Wipi binaka na siya machuma na kabina ni kuwa
Songo kena wakai lesi sai jauh na wati na kena presidenti amina una kena iramuti kai mamiki
Totokna dumui nei tapini sini asibikenta na kabde bengra nilai na serau ni zambe ni kena rere binaga mo andi pula. Apa ko masud sartu nga may birtu na naita. Alo binaga sar mo kaku tali ni ngai nro. Asibikenta non ne rusa mula minit tu nang marama derbu kina konelo may dokumantike ni dodo nandur bengra binaga binaga ni kuwa. Kartu satu bagarautu na no the program kata raba may birtu na New Methodist Christian Fellowship nongu chisu nongu bonua ron bingra bitu ni kinanga selebu karandini nga senelebu bulono en kabi ni bingra bindi dai ngono binaka menda voga muriekina na rongo ibunau libu na kar bogo bulit kanda kina bombino ndo matu vale kina ndo mbula ndo besinga enta sana baka nama teni kina na kabi ni bingra bindi dai upedi la nopo no munindo ni bingra bi na kasa bole uno bitoka ni na kabi ni bingra bindi dai toron ke mi sota tale na kabi ni bingra bindi mataka me topo na ngono ya ni bogo tingu binaka sabaka nama tai ndo program katarapa nongu chisu nongu bonua.
Sun.
Nungu Chisu Nungu Vanua. Warotaka na New Methodist Christian Fellowship USA and a Radio Bulandovata San Francisco me County Kenda Vatamai.
Family table talk kita ka magkaliban na nung hindi mga lalang nakas na manong na ni naman yung mula wani do bakarong may enabi matakalilay ni maruay i-viti.
Wa ambula tigo weekend na turangan na marama daru no nelewa ene sana tinigawani no do bonua wa ambula tigo ani na program binango family table talk we bakarawai we mama ni vitu vital no tekina na ka membalatan matu vale na non tambula wa vitu mani wa vitu nani wa viotini anything on the family doanga na ka membalatan matu vale kero do dambe vital no vi bakatata kidake vi bakarara matakita nga na son naging bulan to rin ni Bibu Kikina non dam bulan to na besinga siya ni roro ng bula dari dito ko da sota kahit ko na so na bolem-bole naging bulan ni Bisaw ser to ko kalibo na naging bulan da duruma o siguro na nitamuan ni au sabang bulan to kanin non dabo no laman obiti ate ko tingamay na sa baturang olaw kau drobe mboki maduata ni bulan binaka sa baturang orawa te ba o nando nga bata kina bosa seru bata kina mosi taile bata kina tasiri ni mbula bina kareo bata kilo mai viti sini ule dawe kinto mai na sana batura ngo kandamu wiya ni anu diriawa diri waleka saba mbula tugani ni mataka ni singa nindai au kila ni ngeuti tungo na muni mada omblavu kitu tugani sa sabara tugi listel tungo mai na singa lotuli bunga sa ngeuti ngo dunia tungo na sere kini buli daba kabini mina kina bakalewu na turanga na ide nimbula we maru itu na kalon non bula roni kenda yana tala mai kina na mataka ni singa ni kuwa na ikatsini kalima ni singa ni bula oktoba aruna undolu rosa bulgaru sa mai vi mama tel tungo na bula oktoba sa asiro tal tu sabonga ngo na November ginan December menda da batala ni visau be runa undolu rosa bulgaru kero bukan ni binakatugani rakin nimbula da mga kenda na tuwa kina na vivo kitu weekend na non turang na kalulimu and to those of you that are not Itoke speakers that you normally watch this program, we take this time to greet you and to welcome you into this program 7:30 family table talk, all about family and all about the things that we go through, the reality of this life from a family point of view. So whatever we share may be encouragement or enlightenment to families, couple, those that are struggling financially or even relationship, that nothing is impossible. We just have to think positively and try to do our best because today will never come again. Yesterday is gone, but tomorrow is yet to come. So whatever we do in this life, we do it to the best of our ability. And I believe most of us in the western side, we enjoy the finals of the deans from under 14 right up to under 18, including under 19, and the girls. We enjoy the game in Churchill Park in Lautoka. And I believe that some will enjoy, some will, we could have, but let be bygone, be bygone. Look forward to another 2023, and especially the last term of the year 2022, I will focus on academics to all our children that they must achieve well this year 2022. Right?
Yeah, well, looking back at 2022, like we've always reminded for you to step and look back. Because when we don't look back, then we continue to live the way that we are living and continue to think that everything is good. But if you look back, say for the 10 months, even though we are on to the 10th month, just for you to have a quick assessment of how far you have come. If you have been sick, how good have you been keeping your health or your diet or the requirement that you have been given by the doctor? And not only for yourself, but also check your family. If one of them is suffering from something that you have been nursing over the year. And not only in the health, but also check in your finances, how far you have changed from what you used to do before, and what have you managed to save, and for Christians or for believers on how you have managed your finances in acknowledging God, like in terms of your tithe or the different things that come from your own denominations. And not only the tithe or the little thing that you help out in the church, maybe the giving in funds into the missionaries, or cooking food for the widows, and helping out with the orphans, all those little things. If you can just have a quick assessment on how you have managed so far, now that we are on to the 10th month of the year, which leaves us only with the 2 months remaining for us to say last year. 2022 now will become last year. Other than the, because we are moving forward to the 2023. And like I, for once, if I look back and I say, oh, the year has really gone so fast, that some of the things that I've written from the beginning of the year to achieve, I still haven't achieved them, which means I have to work a little bit more extra hard or more smarter to be able to achieve that. So it's a good reflection, just to reflect back on the 10 months. And if you say to yourself from the beginning of the year, oh, I can push myself to save this amount of money every month that I don't really need, that I just use it for unnecessary things. And but if you resort back to using those funds in doing whatever you have been doing, and you haven't managed to save, or you did so for a few months and then you just stop doing it, maybe this is time. I mean, it's never too late. 2 months is a lot of time if you really manage every week and every day well. And it's a good time just to stand and check back. We've had our conversation, like for us, it's our grandchildren who are still going to school. And we always have this Thursday, like every Thursday of the week, we call it the student council. Our youngest student is in class 4. Who is Sunday. So that particular night, when we have our devotion, we turn it around to be the student council, and we get to hear all of them. So they can talk about what they lack in school, the subjects that they're struggling with, the kind of meals that they take, the ones that last until lunch, the one that is not really nice to be taken to school, but it's nice for them to have it at home. So it's like a good conversation that we can hear directly from them, other than asking them the question, are you opening a lunchbox and the lunch is still not used? And you're asking all those questions, why you never eat your lunch? But when they give those kind of feedback, it helps. It gives a good communication for all of us that whatever that we prepare, they're going to eat it well. And now we've just had ours because we were really into rugby, and now the day is done. So the conversation changed a little bit. Before it was full of rugby, or 50% of rugby, or 25% of rugby. But now it's like, okay, straight after that, when we have our devotion, we were still in the western side, we started reminding them. School, the next term is full of exam. We have 2 that are in year 12, 1 that in year 10 for external examination. So, we start reminding them. Now when you're going back to school, we need you to bury your head in your books. We need to, the same passion that you have towards rugby, preparing things, fasting, praying, all those efforts and strength that you have given towards the extracurriculum, which is rugby for these boys. We are encouraging them, use the same passion in everything, but towards your academics. Yeah. Because those results, once you sit to your exam and you go past the year, you cannot undo them. And you cannot go back and change those marks. And I remember, and I was sharing with them about my brother. I have 3 brothers. I have this particular brother. He's quite smart. They went to Bar Methodist School, and they stay in the hostel. So on the first school year of his year 12, he wasn't really happy with his marks. So he had to go back and sit another school year, which he didn't finish because he came out and worked. And I was sharing with them, when you do it well now and your mind is focused, write down the marks that you know that you need to achieve. And if you look at your subject, I'm talking to you students that are listening to us today, or sitting together with your family, or parents that we can help our children to achieve. So I will just get them look through their marks on their previous exam. And I said, okay, if you look at that mark, say if you get 60, and you look at your papers, and you say to yourself, like, I got 60 because I just don't understand the question, or I don't understand what they're talking about. Or you say to yourself, those are just mistakes that I could have gone without it. I shouldn't have made those mistakes. And if they're, really good mistakes, and you say to yourself, okay, how much point is that? Which is about 10 to 20. And if it's 10 to 20, then you can tell yourself, I can score 80 the next time if I'm more careful, or if I revise well. And then don't just look at the subject and give up and say, I don't really like the subject, or I don't like the teacher. Like you look at this particular subject that you're doing, and you've already given up. Don't. And I always encourage my grandsons or my grandchildren, look at the same thing. And I started doing this for my children. Now they have their own families. And I'm beginning to do the same thing with my grandchildren. And I said, no matter what it is, that subject, you still need to sit on your exam. And if you apply for a job, or if you put out in your CV, when they look at their marks, they couldn't care less who was the teacher or the situation that you go through. A mark is a mark. Marks gain is a mark that's going to be there on your certificate throughout your life that you cannot change. So when you look at those challenges, you challenge yourself, how can you look at it in a more positive way? Or if you lack the understanding of the subject that you're going through, what kind of help do you need? So I encourage them to tell me the kind of help. So I organize tutorial, ask their teacher if they're willing, to be paid extra to have those few hours. Or I rub it off, speak with other people on what is available out there. So there are always ways and means that we as parents or grandparents, that we can help our children. More so now that we're coming towards the end of the year, and most of our children are sitting external exam. Other than just waiting for them to achieve at the end of the year, and like you're not happy with the result that they bring, maybe this is the time that we can invest a little bit more time to help them through and discuss with them the areas that they need help on.
Yeah, I think it's very important, the role of parents or guardian, by reminding them and pushing them. Yeah. It's our duty to push them. It's our duty to remind them. Most of the students, they have interest here and there, but it is our duty.
Yeah, to be distracted from
this time in school will never come again. Yeah. So we need to remind them of the importance of the marks for their future, their work, because universities, they have limits and requirements. So it is our duty to check their homework, check their assignment, or even some projects that they have. And that's why it's good to get involved in their school. We were blessed because ever since our children went to school back in Nandi Airport Kindergarten, Nandi Airport Primary, and Sirvakanan College, and JASPA, or International for Elijah, we continue to be part of the school. And I believe even those commitment to the school work and be seen in school with the teachers or with management, it's boost our children to do well,
because you're part of
what they're doing. When we go out in numbers for Coca-Cola in athletics, in sports, or rugby, the same that we should do in academic, because there is a moral and encouragement when they see their parents or somebody from home, they are part of what they're doing. And the challenges today, they are most of the students, they come away from school, or they step school, or they make excuse not to go to school. So if we are not careful in supporting them, being with them, then they are vulnerable to follow otherwise the things that we don't want to talk about in school. Just like when we encourage people to go to church and live a good life, the same thing that we must do as we send our children to school. Because once they finish with the school, all those marks will remain. You can't
follow the way they go.
In universities, you can do it again, but in school, once you pass that school years, it will be very difficult. And sometimes, people go back when they are 20s and 30s, but people who would rather go through and do their best while they're still in school. So we are encouraging parents and guardians that we must be beside our children when they are in school at the moment because of the challenges. As I said before during our introduction, the world today is very, very different from the time in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Now we are in the 21st century, totally different ball game altogether. So the more we are part of them in their school, in their results, and even their parenting PTI, their meetings, we must find out how they are doing in school. Because the earlier we find out, then it will be easy to help and to make some correction. It will be difficult when they've been part of what they are doing and we don't realize it from home, and it will be difficult to change them. So it's a big challenge, and we are encouraging all the parents that you are watching this morning. For you overseas that you are watching this program, Australia, New Zealand, America, and the UK or other parts of the world, it'll be totally different. And you know exactly what we are talking about. In Fiji, we are still blessed that we still have some part of our culture that assist us to nurture our children. To be a good student.
Just take us back to when we had this conversation with that group of girls back in England. Like for them, when they're 18, they are leaving home, starting their life, going to work, apart from studies. It's sort of like by the age of 18, you have your independence to, continue with your life. And this particular young girl, she mentioned, I don't really want to leave home. No vale weekend na kaivite, dataleta kami dito kung ganyan bagitin college, and baking one is a weekend. Can more on the back summer when you're 21, and then you're ready to leave home. But if you're anything younger than that, it's sort of like you're still clinging to your parents. And when she was mentioning that, the mother was sharing with us. Then the mother said, you don't really need to leave. You don't really need to leave home. And then she said, but everybody else is doing it. You need to leave home by 18. Pay for your own place and have your own life. Do your studies, but work at the same time. And those are the things that that is applicable to our children outside Fiji. And Vale Vivek Daviti, like if you talk about 17, 18, that's very young. And you talking about the 12 and the 13, and even before going to university. So non-matured when they are with us at home, it takes longer because they're always depending on parents, they're always depending on their family and their relatives. And most of the time, when they move on with their life or after study or when they go to work, it takes a while for them to be mature to manage themselves because they are so used to being looked after or managed by parents or adults. And I believe it's an advantage maybe to countries outside Fiji that you get to do that because it's part of their law. And for Fiji, that's why I would think it takes a while for our children to be matured because we're always running their lives for them. And some I see, they have the tendency, even if they're staying with their parents, they're already matured. But some of the children, if you're listening to me today, like when you lose your mom or you lose your dad, automatically you become responsible. And that makes you to be more matured. Like you look at the same thing like everybody else does, or everybody of your age would be, but you look at it in a totally different way because of the circumstances of your upbringing or the situation that you've gone through. So the maturity, we've always talked about it. I share a lot about maturity because we go to church, and I grab the opportunity to share with them, like when you're matured, the way you look at life is totally different. And then when you go to church, you trust in God to give you that maturity and wisdom to be able to be wise in all your decision making, which means it can be your personal life, it can be your school life, it can be your social life, it can be anything else about your life as an individual. And that is why, like for those of you that go to church, it's very important for you to trust God to lead you that way. And for those of you who do not believe in God, then it becomes like the word for you would be maturity. The word for people who go to church because they trust God will be wisdom, because we believe that that wisdom is not something that you can learn or taught in a university or taught in any a subject in the school curriculum, but it's something that is given by a higher power, supernatural power, by God, if you're a believer. But if you're not, then the word becomes maturity, like you're more matured. You look at the same thing, you're matured. Like, say if I come and I give $10 each to two youths or two children, maybe they're sitting on their 17 or they're 18, the way that if I look at them, the way that they spend their money or the way that they go and use that money for shows me their maturity or their wisdom on how they manage those funds given. So it can be money that I'm talking about, but it can be other material things. It can be your school books, the way you manage them. So you become more matured. And back to what I've just mentioned, when you come from a family that struggles, like you don't have things easy, or you lose your parents earlier than the normal, that makes you, those are circumstances that makes you more matured. I believe for me, I could say that I became more matured earlier in my age because I lost my dad when I was only 13 years of age. And the circumstances of my upbringing is totally different from a normal eat-okay family that has aunties and uncle. Like if something happened to you, at least you have this support system around you that you can go and stay with an uncle, or you can go and stay with an aunt, or even stay with your grandmother. And Fijians or eat-okay have got a very good support system when it comes to that, because there are always people there to look after you if something doesn't go your way. And for mine was totally different because we are always a private family. When my father passed on, that leaves my mom and us. So it made me more matured. I was the youngest in the family. I was only in year 9, but it makes me more matured. I look at things in a different way because at the back of my head, I'm always thinking, no one is there. No one is there to support me. Even though I have my brother who's looking after my fees and looking after my upbringing and helping my mom financially. But I don't want to rely on it all the time because sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not there because he's got a life of his own as well. So growing up in that kind of circumstances make me more matured. And now that I look back, I started work when I was only 16 years of age. I left the first term of year 12. And I got married when I was only 18 years of age. And not only I got married when I was 18, I even bought a car when I was 19. And the life moved on from there until what I am today. So I look at things in a totally different way compared to normal people, the way they look at it. I look at saving from a very young age, and it becomes my life until today. So the circumstances that you're going through, you may have suffered through that system, or maybe you miss your parents because they have to leave you earlier, or they go their separate ways, either they pass on, or they may move on and have their own families. Sometimes when you're brought up in those kind of circumstances, it makes you more mature than the normal, because you're always looking at the same thing, but you're anticipating. No one is going to be there for me all the time. This is my only time, and if I'm receiving this, I might as well use it in a better way or a proper way that will help me or help my siblings, in years to come. And we get to hear about testimonies or older youth sharing, or even young couples, that when they grew up and things happened in their family, they became like the mother and the father because of their status in the family, being the elders. They become so responsible for the remaining members of the family or their siblings, and sometimes they forego their university studies, or they forego the good things in their life, and they sacrifice that, for their siblings. And it made them more responsible and more matured, and they look at life totally different. And I believe back in your years, maybe it's still happening now, on how people leave the village and you're being asked, and they usually hold back one of the children to stay with them or to look after them, or you say to yourself, I can't, I have to look after my parents. And you sacrifice things of your life. And few stories that I've heard, for few people who have done that, the blessing that comes with it, because they made a stand to honor their parents, or they forego the good things of their life. Or you may be one of those that are listening to us today, and you've given up on a lot of things of your life to make, to be able to make it work for your family or for your siblings, or different circumstances that you're in. And sometimes you cry alone because no one is there to help you, and sometimes like you want to give up on life because you felt the burden on you is too much compared to the age that you were in, and sometimes like you don't even look forward to life because of those
I guess when we face with environment that are not conducive, or the environment that are very challenging, it's the way that we look at things.
Yes.
If we remain positive and we are adamant, confident that there is something good out there. There's something good out there. It makes you grow fast in maturity, or what we call, you will have a lot of wisdom, because you are not looking at the circumstances or the challenges or the difficult environment that you go through. You are hoping and believing that something good is out there. I believe it's that mindset. That mindset creates that wisdom and confidence.
And then it pushes you
to achieve. So regardless what you're facing, if your mind is set, if your mind is determined, and for us believers, that's what we call faith. In the world, we call it positive attitude. But if we are a believer, we have that the advantage that we are relying, that we know that there is a supernatural, that He can do miracle, signs and wonders. So the challenge is out there in the world, and it must be shared to our children or to our grandchildren and to the younger generation while we are on it, while we have the opportunity to do the best. We must strive for the best. Because out there, something good will come our way. But if we are just thinking of gloomy and doom, then
you already given up.
You already given up. You haven't started the battle. You already lost the war. So it's a challenge on family talk like this, that you can do it, you can achieve. There's something good out there. There's the word that we normally use it today, to be resilient on things that we, regardless what we are doing, whether in the village, whether in the village or in urban centers, or we are from overseas, that we can do it. Around, it can be done. Nothing is impossible, and it's a challenge to every families out there, every single parent out there, every young people out there, regardless of what you're going through now or what you start to see that is on the horizon, that it can be done. You just do your best. As I said before, in the secular world we call it positive attitude. But for those that believe in God, we call it faith. And when we have that, what a wonderful place the world.
Because when you have a positive attitude or positive energy, it attracts positivity to your life.
You continue to speak good things. You continue to smile. You tackle every day with a positive attitude, regardless of the result that you face so many days. You continue to look for better days to come, and those kind of positive attitude attracts a positive result. There's a saying says, whatever you confess, you shall possess. Your confession comes because of the positive.
You believe that it can happen in your life.
You know the logic is, you know the fact that is already negative, but because you believe, because you think, because you are determined, and you can change the situation, regardless whether you in the village, regardless whether you're still a student or you're out there working. As long as you have a positive attitude, then your mind will drive your body to
I think it takes us back on the importance of the attitude, eh?
Yeah.
Because you can have everything good, it can be all provided for you, but if your attitude is not right, then the achievement level is very low. And the situation may be not to your liking, very negative, lack in so many ways, but if your attitude is good, it's amazing how it can turn out to be. That is why, like for most children, I only share about my grandchildren because they are realistically, what's happening in my life. And I've always said this to them: look, you have your study corners, you have a bed to sleep on, and you have meals on the table. There are not any day that you're looking around not having any food, or you're looking for food. There's always meals. And you have school sandals to wear to school. You have your uniform. You have everything that it takes to be able to achieve the best in your school. So I can provide you all these things to help you and provide a support system for you to be able to achieve well. But at the end of the day, it's your attitude. And that's what I always tell my grandsons. It's your attitude. Because I can be doing all these things and even go and organize to print out past year's exam papers. And if I had got them printed and put them in the file according to the subject and leave it here, it's your attitude. Because I should be the one to come and remind you, okay, you do that, you do that. But when you have a positive attitude and you're responsible for it, you will push yourself because everything is provided. And they have a very, very close friend. Joshua has got a very, very close friend. He's got friends, one who lives with us, just like we treat him like Joshua or like one of my grandchildren. He's been with us for years, and his name is Carlos. He's got another best friend of his, and he goes to QVS, and he stays in the hostel. And for Junior, this friend of his, he does very well. He comes out with excellent results for his schoolwork. And I've always used that situation for them, they're like this scenario, and share it with them. Look, you have it all good. You come home at your own leisure, at your own time. You choose when to study or when to eat, or whether you rest a bit. All those things, you have those options. And there's never a day that you can turn to me and say, Nana, I like this, or Nana, I need this. Or even the time when you tell me for me to say to you that I won't be able to provide, which I try my best to. And this is Junior. He stays in the hostel. There's a certain time for them to wake up, and they cut the grass. The meals that they eat is for everybody. And there's always time for everything. Time to study, time to go to sleep, time to have their meals. With all those things that he goes through as a normal boarder or as a normal hostel a student, and you have yours here, and if he's able to come and produce that result with those circumstances, I challenge you. I always pose that question to them. Now, with everything that you have and everything that is provided and everything, the support system is very good, then you need to ask yourself, what can I do? Is this the best that I'm doing? And if I'm looking at their results from their tests, and if they do good, like in the 80s and 90s, and said, that's very good, but what can stop you from getting more? It's very good. And if you look back, if you look at your mistakes, what can you do that you can improve? Or you just got it wrong because you don't know, or you got it wrong because of the mistake that you made that you can avoid it? So those are the questions that I take them through. And if you really, really score low, then is that your best? And I challenge them as much as possible. So, like what I said, before this school term emerging up again from Tuesday, we've had our talks last week. By Thursday, I start talking to them about these things. And by Wednesday night, when we have our devotion, and I say to them, now you can enjoy whatever that you're doing your games, have your gadgets, have your phones. We're having fun together as a family, swimming in the pool. But by next week, I will take all these gadgets out, and I will need you to focus on your schoolwork. And if anything, I'm going to be there to support you. And this goes to parents. We all love our children. We all love our grandchildren. And most times we are so busy with every other things that we're doing. I could say, like for me, yeah, I'm busy. I go to work every day. And I also have a church that I'm so involved in. And I have this big extended family. So with all that, I will not use it as an excuse that I'm not able to spend time with them or go through their school results or have the moment of discussion with them. So if you haven't had the opportunity to do that over the school year, now it's October, please spend some time with your children to sit with them or your grandchildren and just be part of what they're going through, just like what Gaselevo is just sharing with us this morning. And this is to you students. If you know that you have a very good support system from home, don't just throw it away or don't, don't just casually treat it like, so, okay, I'm supposed to be having this anyway. My parents are supposed to be doing this anyway. You need to take whatever that is being given and provided and have that gratitude in your heart. I said, oh, I thank my mom and dad in providing this facility for me. I thank my mom and dad in sending me to school. There's never a time that I run out or my bus, my transport card doesn't have any money in it. It's always enough funds